Wonderful day to you. So today I want to talk about the importance of pain in our lives and the role of pain and how most of humanity basically misunderstands or have been mistaught, misguided what pain is and what it is meant for. So first of all, with pain, there's different kinds of pain. We have emotional pain and we have physical pain, and they can as well go hand in hand, or emotional pain can also create physical pain in the body. And what are these pains? What is this pain for? Because most of us have been kind of taught, conditioned since childhood to avoid pain, to not feel pain, or our parents have been doing everything to protect us from pain, to try and oh, don't climb on there because you're gonna fall down, or don't touch that because you're gonna sting yourself or something. But these are actually our learning experiences. And of course, I'm not going to say parents that have children need to have a feeling for what can I let my child experience for itself, and where should I say something. Like if your child is going to run off a cliff, you're like, well, that's not just pain, that's going to be physical death. But when your child is climbing something and it falls down, that's a learning experience of oh, that hurts, it hurts, there's pain. Or it touches something that is painful, like fire, for example. It's probably not going to do that again, because from pain we learn. Pain is our greatest teacher, probably. But like I said, we've been taught to avoid it and to judge it as really bad. Pain is something bad that we don't want to feel, and it has such a big label and judgment on it that we've also started to try and avoid emotional pain. And that's where our whole problem sort of in humanity lays, that we're trying to run away from feeling our emotional pain, doing everything to not actually feel the emotional pain. And a lot of people do it with physical pain as well. They have hurting joints, hurting knees or something, and they're ignoring that pain and just keep on doing what they're doing or something. They don't want to feel it. So how can pain actually teach us? Well, pain in itself is nothing bad. That's the problem. We have a negative judgment of pain. We all associate, because we've been taught that pain is very bad, associate with something bad, and we're afraid of it, and we're scared of pain. We don't want to feel pain. But when you come to the realization that pain is just a feeling, just energy as everything else is, just like you can feel joy and euphoria or something in your body, you can feel excitement or things like that in your body, a very high frequency. You can also just feel pain without any, oh my god, this is so bad, or it hurts so bad, or this. That all the thoughts that come to the pain are part of a story that make the pain, that make us want to run away from that pain or avoid it. But if you let the story, the thoughts be a story, be thoughts, then there's actually just physical pain. And you can try that. You could, I don't know, take a pen or something, poke in your hand until it hurts. And to a certain degree, you're probably all able to, to feel a certain amount of pain without being like, oh my god, this is terrible. So you can actually try for yourself to poke yourself in the hand or something, be like, that is pain. That is all it is. It is a feeling. And what does it say? What is it for? Well, if you poke in there, your body responds and says, that isn't good for me. So it sends out pain signals of pain that are pointers for you to become aware of, like, oh, I shouldn't do that. I should stop poking my hand. And that's the same with, like, you have knee injuries or something, you have knee problems, you're trying to run every day or kind of this, or you're trying to lift heavy weights and then you have shoulder and back problems or something. That's your body telling you, maybe you should stop lifting those weights for a while and feel into that pain. And there's even people who've been able to, when they injured themselves, to meditate on that pain, go into that pain, meditate for a while on it, and by that speed up their recovery in the healing process, because they put their attention on the pain, on the part in the body where the pain is, and by that send more energy, or send their intention, their recovery intention, to that part of their body and become aware of it, and by that help the body to heal it and stop. They automatically, after they sit down and meditate, and they stop doing anything else, anything that could keep you away from, keep your body from healing that, or something like even more exercise or something. That your body, if it's injured, you're not going to heal it. If you break your arm, you're not going to heal it if you keep using that arm, and that counts for smaller injuries and pains as well. If you just have a leg pain or something, you're not going to recover if you keep excessively using that leg. And so with physical pain, it's quite easy to see, and everyone kind of knows that when you've injured yourself, you take rest. You lay down and rest, well, best if you actually put your attention on the part in your body and meditate on it or something. But with emotional pain, which is even the much bigger part of the overall pain on this planet, emotional trauma and pain stored in the body that we still carry from childhood, like stored emotions, energy fields of pain, and they can even come out, like I said in the beginning, when you have emotional pain and you don't give it your attention and you try to avoid it and try to run away from it. That's actually where a lot of the physical pain then manifests and comes from. It translates into physical pain, or you have emotional pain that you're running away from, and your body or your life is gonna show you in a form of injury, for example, in physical pain, that you should look into that emotional pain. And that's all there is with emotional pain. It's the same as I said with physical pain. It is there for you to feel. An emotion just needs to be felt completely, and then it dissolves, then it goes. And we have not been taught that as children. We've always been taught to avoid it. We've been crying and we've been angry, and parents, whoever, told us, stop crying, stop being angry, or they're like, can you please stop crying, and they give you a lollipop. That's not feeling your emotion, your pain. That is distraction. Just be like, oh, stop feeling that emotion, here's a lollipop, do that instead. And then that emotion stays in the body, doesn't dissolve, and you eat a lollipop instead. And at some point in your life, it will come out, it will come back up again if something similar triggers it, for example, or it will manifest. If it keeps being not looked at, it might manifest into physical illness, into things like serious diseases or something that people have, like cancer, and these kind of things can also all manifest from emotional pain that isn't looked at, that is avoided. And your body, these kind of things, physical pain, diseases, are all pointers. That's kind of the point of the video. What I wanted to share with this video is, whenever you have pain, may it be emotion, may it be anger emotion or sadness, any form of negative emotion, or physical pain, that is a pointer for you. Life telling you, look at that. Like, take a moment, take a rest, like you do when you're injured. Take a moment of rest and look into that pain and realize it is just pain. It is nothing that you have to run away from. With emotional pain, it's often far more difficult to not be afraid to feel into it than with like physical pain. But yeah, when you do it, when you take a moment of stillness, feel into pain, it dissolves, and that, well, can help you in your physical life and in your inner spiritual life. And yeah, oh yeah, one more thing with that I wanted to mention is the cold, because I've looked into Wim Hof, which is an awesome guy. If you don't know Wim Hof, just look him up. He does a lot of like cold therapy, you could say, with like cold showers, and it's similar. It's kind of similar. Cold is not necessarily exactly the same experience as pain, but it is just an experience, and we've all, or most of us, have been conditioned that cold is bad and that we have to avoid cold. But when you actually become aware and do things like cold showers consciously, you decide to, I'm gonna cold shower and deep breathly and just feel how cold water feels, then the judgment goes away and you're like, this is how cold water feels, this is how warm water feels. And it's just a difference in how they feel. They're not bad or good, but because we've been conditioned to think that warm is better than cold, we have a judgment about cold and we try to avoid it. But this kind of thing can teach you to let go of these judgments and take it into other parts of your life, of course, not just with cold and warm, just judgment on anything. And it helped me a lot. I've done it. I've started cold showering. I used to hate cold water. I used to hate cold showers so much. And this year I started just doing it and just feeling it. And it is difficult often because it lets you, you have to get out of your mind. If you stay in the mind and stay in the thoughts and be like, oh, this is so cold, I can't stand this, it's so freezing, I need to get, then you're not going to be able to stand it. But if you transcend that and get out of the thoughts and just get into feeling your body, like take deep breaths, which is important to actually keep your body warm from the inside, with lots of oxygen flow and everything. If you're able to do that, then it actually at some point doesn't even feel like cold. Like you're not going to be shivering in it, you're just going to be standing there and be like, and this is a huge practice for like body awareness and everything. That's just a tip on the side if you want to start with doing that, for example, cold showers. But anyway, let's sum up the video again. It was supposed to be just a quick talk because I had that coming to me just the other day in words, and I felt like I should maybe express that in a video, because I felt this so much over this year, especially that we're so deeply conditioned to avoid pain, and especially with children we can really see it, that we're living in a very fear-based society. Like people are becoming more and more scared and fear-based, and you see that with parents a lot, that they're putting these conditionings onto their children because they're so afraid that that there's a slight risk in anything for their children to hurt themselves, so they're literally, a lot of parents are trying to keep their children from any sort of pain. But a lot of just common pain experiences, like I said, like stubbing your toe or falling from a chair or something, is just lessons. Those are life lessons for children, especially for children, because they need to still experience their body. They need to physically like get control over their body and feel what can they do, what can they not do. And if you're avoiding all of these things for them, you're not letting them even try, because they're like, don't go over there, nah, don't do that, and stay away from that. They're not gonna become masters of their body. They're not gonna have that experience. And yeah, for all of adults, to sum it up, whenever there's pain, become aware that there's pain for a reason. You're not the victim of like, oh God, there's pain again, I can't do anything about it. That's not it. Pain is there for you to become aware of it, and then often have a realization out of that pain. Feel into your hurting joints, into your hurting knee, into your arms or something, you're broken, this and that. Go into that and find, why is that happening? What is this supposed to tell me? Same with emotional pain. When there's anger or something, what is this anger? Feel into that anger and just feel it. You don't have to do anything else, literally. Okay, I hope I got my point across. I'm not sure, but I'm gonna end the video here. If you have any questions left to that, if you didn't quite understand any of those concepts, just feel free to ask in the comments, and I'll see you guys very soon. So have a wonderful day. Bye bye.